In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the House of Abundance. These are Mother's stories.
Girl, I'm tired, but I'm here to give you pose. I ain't been to sleep today or last night. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I ain't been to sleep, but we gonna do pose. Angel is going to be the face of 1990. I'm excited for her, and in this moment, I'm like, yes, girl, yes, you are gonna be the face. Um, she's doing her audition tapes with, fake Anna Wintour. I don't know what to call her because I didn't catch her name, and I was calling her fake Anna Wintour, but then we got the House of Wintour now, so I'm like, should I give her a new name? Like, what's T? We'll see if she persists and sticks around this season. I may have to give her another name, but right now she's going to continue to be fake Anna Wintour. And as I said in my season 2, episode 1 video, Tracy Africa Tease, it was confirmed by the writers, we are giving Tracy Africa Tease. I told y'all to do your research. I don't know if you did or not. I admonish you to do so if you have not. We are back at the ball. Angel walks. She gets tense, as she should. As she should. Poppy is taking photographs of Angel. The phone rings. Blanca hollers, very, very matronly, very like a mother. Damon, get the phone. He gets the phone. It's for Angel. She takes the phone call and finds out that she did not make the fresh face. She didn't win, basically. And she's discouraged. She's discouraged, and Blanca tries to tell her, it's all right, we'll figure something out. You still the girl. And Angel snaps, and it's like, you steady telling us we can be this and we can be that, and it's just not true. And I'm like, girl, well, first of all, it is true. Second of all, there's absolutely no reason to snap on Blanca. Blanca didn't do that to you. She encouraged you. You should never be mad at somebody for encouraging you. In the same vein, Poppy and Angel are out, walking around, and he encourages her, and she kisses him. I'm like, she's not a lesbian, so I wouldn't expect her to kiss Blanca, but I'm like, Blanca ain't done nothing but encourage you. You snapped on her. Poppy ain't done nothing but encourage you. You kiss him. Like, why you couldn't just tell your mama thank you for the encouragement and go on about your day? Like, girl, it was a lot. The Poppy Angel thing feels kind of incesty, but so did Damon and Ricky, so I'm gonna have to deal. I'm just gonna have to deal. But they just really felt like brother and sister to me. Now, I did hear some people on Facebook. I'm following 2 Facebook groups about polls. I don't remember which group it was, but someone on Facebook, a couple people were like, well, Poppy wouldn't ever like Angel. This was like before the season started. Poppy wouldn't like Angel. Poppy wouldn't date Angel because Poppy is not gay. And I'm like, that's not how it works. Angel's a woman, number 1. And number 2, Poppy said he was an equal opportunity lover. So if Angel was not a woman, it really would not matter to Poppy. Because Poppy's an equal opportunity lover. Y'all want to be transphobic so bad. So bad. Even gay people find themselves being transphobic, and I just don't understand. Like, girl, why for? Why for? How hard is it when someone says that they're a woman for you to say she? How hard is it? I really find it, I hang out with a whole lot of homosexuals, and fortunately the ones I hang out with aren't like this, but ones that hang out with the ones I hang out with, a lot of them just call transgender people, the T slur and misgendered. Like, I'm just like, girl, that's just not it. That's not it. That's not it. And anytime you see it on the show, it's because that's the time that they were living in. That's how they spoke in the 90s. That's not how we talk today. Moving on. I just had to do my little PSA, honey. She kisses him, and she says, she enjoyed the kiss. He says he enjoyed the kiss. She wants to get a room, and he wants to take her on a proper date. She don't know what to do with it. She doesn't know. She's like, girl, I'm a hooker. A date. I ain't been on a date in Lord knows. Has Angel been on a date on this show? Did she and Stan go on a date? I remember her sitting in the diner with Stan's wife. Every time I saw her with Stan, they were hidden away in the apartment he got her or in a hotel. I don't remember them going on a date. I don't know if Angel's ever even been on a date, which may explain why she was, nervous. We back at the Booty Shake Club, honey, and I'm sitting here like, she really has it made. This man pays her money to beat him, number one. Pays her extra money to let him do drugs. He pays her money to let him do drugs. And he paid for the drugs. Now, he didn't buy the drugs off a lecturer. If she had been selling drugs too, I'd have been like, sis is a G. A capital G. She's just a lowercase G. Very much like Montel Jordan was back in the day. Girl. Get to the point, Kayla. But yeah, he pays her to beat him, and he pays her for him to take drugs. I absolutely never. I was like, what kind of boss moves is she making? He is going to put on a mask for he is taking cocaine and poppers. And he's like, the mask slowly distributes the poppers so they don't hit all at once. It's, blah, 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 girl. He's speaking drug. I don't do drugs, so I don't speak drug. But he does some cocaine, and he puts the mask on, and he gets tied up. And he asks her to leave him for 20 minutes to give the drug some time to kick in. And I'm like, she is getting paid not only to beat this man, she is also getting paid to let him do drugs. And now she's getting paid to take a 20-minute break. I was so happy for her in that moment. She goes and fixes herself a glass of tea or a cup of coffee or some child. Why is it a cup of coffee and a glass of tea? Usually they're both in mugs. A cup of tea? Cup of tea. People say cup of tea. But do people say a glass of coffee? I've never heard people say a glass of coffee. Anyway, honey, she fixes herself a cool beverage or a warm one. I don't know. Goes back in the room, girl. And she's calling his name. And he ain't saying nothing. And she said, nod if you understand me. He don't nod. I said, oh no. Oh no, Peter. Get up, son. Son didn't get up. She takes the mask off his face, child, and he's asphyxiating. Now, the thing that surprised me is she made absolutely no measures to try to save his life. She made no measures. The vomit was foaming, coming out of the side of his mouth, meaning, that he probably could have been saved. Now, again, I don't speak drug. I don't know a lot about drugs, but I watch a lot of medical TV shows. And usually, when the vomit is all crusted around the mouth, they gone. And there's nothing we can do. But when the vomit is still flowing from his mouth, I know it's nasty, but you at the nasty club. So look, sometimes you got to do some things. She didn't make any motion. She didn't, how when a baby, well, I don't know if you know how, but again, I watch a lot of medical shows. When a baby is choking, you're supposed to put your finger in their mouth, in their throat, and swipe. She didn't swipe. She didn't pat the back of his head, the back of his back, his chest. She didn't raise his arms up. Nothing. She let the man just go to glory. The man is gone. May he rest. She leaves him in the club. I don't know if she locked the door or what, but she leaves him in the club and runs in her fur and her heels to Blanca's house, knocking on the door. Blanca, are you in here alone? She says, yes. She says, I'm distressed. Get me something for my distressed, ness. Blanca pours her a shot of something, honey. I didn't catch what it was. I was taking notes. And Blanca's like, girl, what's tea? What's going on? She basically explains that she has now been a part of a death. She's been a part of a death. Blanca's like, okay, well, look, we got to call the police. Boop, boop, boop. She's getting ready to call 911. Blanca's like, are you out of your mind? I'm not calling the police. I'm not going to jail. Look at me. I won't be in jail. I'm not doing jail. Blanca's like, well, if you don't want my advice, why'd you come here? She's like, girl, I'm trying to figure the same thing out myself. She runs out the door. Blanca runs behind. I'm like, girl, these girls are running like chickens with their heads cut off. They are shuffling, honey. In Electra's heels, I think Blanca might have had on a sneaker. But girl, they was gone. Now, I would have had to put on clothes. I'd be at the house just comfortable. I'd be like, hold on, girl, let me get my jacket, some shoes. Blanca was just out the door. Electra got on a fur. Blanca ain't got on nothing but her house clothes. Like, sis, you not cold? Anyway, they go on down to another club. And we see Candy. Candy is in there on the pole. I'm like, okay, Candy. Work, sis. She's in there. She's dancing down. She looked really good. She had these extensions in her hair. I was like, you look amazing. Candy needs to wear her hair longer. Like, no shade to Angelica Ross or, the character Candy, but I think personally she looks prettier with her hair longer. Not saying that she looks ugly in the other way. I think the longer hair is flattering on her. I do. Um, I do. I do. Just like I think the longer hair is flattering on Blanca. But then I don't really hate that short wig. We saw the short wig again last week on Blanca, and I was like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's very shake and go, but there are worse wigs out there. There are worse wigs. You can watch any season of Beyond and find somebody on there who needs help with their wigs. So Candy, they tell Candy what's going on. Candy's like, girl, I'm with Electra, girl. We ain't going to jail. Now I'm accessible to this. We not going to jail. Nope. No jail, thanks. But no jail. I know somebody can get this together. So they go on down to the streets, honey, the corner, I guess, and meet up with this other friend. I don't know if they ever said her name. I rewound it and I listened back. Candy just said, hey girl, how are you? How you been? And they hug and stuff. I was like, what's girl's name? Is her name just Girl? Anyway, girl was sickening. Girl was very pretty. She can play that short hair and everything. I was like, work, sis. I'm just not really a big short hair fan. I'm not. She was gorgeous. They meet up, they go back. I guess they went back to Blanca's house. And they tell Girl about this man that's laying there dead at the club. He is still at the club, sis. Still dead. Still at the club. I never. So Girl is like, Miss Electra, you can't go to jail. Electra's like, girl, I know I can't go to jail. Candy's like, we can't go to jail. Blanca's like, we have to call the police. So they tell, Candy tells Girl, again, now we just calling her Girl. Candy tells Girl to tell them about what happened to her last summer. Last summer, Girl she picked up a John, or John picked her up. She was, servicing him in the backseat. He couldn't get his situation together. And he tells her that she's using too much deep, and she says, no, I ain't toothy. I've never been called toothy. He backhands her. She hits him. He hits her out the car. Now they on the street brawling. Well, he on the street beating her. You hear whoop whoop, which is, the sound of the police. I didn't even plan to do that. That was not intentional. But you do hear whoop whoop, which, as we all have heard, is the sound of the police. And he started beating her into the police. Literally pull up and they're flashing their lights, and then he looks like he's surprised that the police are there. I'm like, you didn't hear the whoop whoop? Pull over, that is too fast. Anyway, long story short, Girl goes to jail for, I guess, solicitation. I didn't understand. He tells the police officers, he being the John, tells the police officers that he has a brother that's a police officer, and they just kind of like let him go and arrest her and take her down to the jail. She had to take her wig off and be in the men's prison, and she met a guard who got her, cosmetics and stuff only so he could pimp her out to the other prisoners. I hated that. I know that's what happens a lot of the time in jail, but I absolutely hated it. I genuinely did. Now, I was confused a little bit because we all know Miss Electra has had her surgery. So unless on her documentation it still says male, I cannot see where she would have gone to a men's prison, because I know a lot of the time when they arrested you back in the day, they would do your cavity search, and then when they searched the cavity, honey, they found a little piece of extra, a little piece they put in there, and sent you to your, your assigned at birth jail, company. You keep company with the assigned at birth, not who you identify as, and that still really kind of goes on now. I really think we should figure out a way. I think Sophia Burset in Orange is the New Black should be the trailblazer for them not sending trans women to men's prisons. What do we have to do? Is there a petition? Somebody link me. And vice versa. Trans men shouldn't be going to women's prisons. I know it's a little bit different because women are less hostile and, they would treat a trans man differently than a man would treat a trans woman, but still, if the person identifies, girl, I don't have time today to be preaching to y'all. I'm way in. I've been doing this video too long, child, and I'm not halfway through. So Girl can't. No, I think they left Girl where she was. She just popped in right quick to tell the story about jail, I guess. She looked very familiar. Does anybody know who she is? my mind, I'm drawing a blank, but she looked really familiar. I'm talking about the lady that was on the corner, Miss Girl. Anyway, Candy takes Electra. They leave Blanca at home, and they left Girl, I guess, with Blanca to babysit Blanca. But Candy takes Electra down to the lady who gave her that bad silicone and made her sick and almost killed her. And I'm like, when did you find out? Because she's like, girl, we heard that you know how to get rid of some bodies, and you got rid of a body for, somebody down on blah, blah, blah street. And then when a girl died from, your silicone injections, you got rid of her too. And I'm like, when did you find that out? Did you find that? Hopefully you found that out after you got your silicone injections. Because if you found that out before, Miss Candy, we got to talk. We have to talk. I know a lot of women were very desperate to get this, and a lot of women still are very desperate to get their silicone injections or their whatever injections. But, honey, we want you to live. We want you to live. Get you a booty pop panty. Y'all remember booty pop panties? I know they didn't have those in the 90s, but they had something similar. Girl, they put a pillow in the pillow in the panty or something, girl. So Yolanda, I believe, is what the problem solver's name is. They have a lot of back and forth. She argues with Candy, but Electra flashes some money, and it's like, girl, fix this for me. Help me. And she sees the money and immediately goes, was he tall? Is he fat? Electra's like, girl, what's love got to do? What's love for the secondhand emotion? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And she says, I need to know what size suitcase to put him in. As soon as she said it, as she was saying it, I turned to my mom and was like, she finna put this man in a suitcase. This is giving Dorian Corey tease. Dorian Corey, who is my favorite, absolute favorite from Paris is Burning. We all love Pepper LaBeija because Liz Taylor is famous, so is Pepper LaBeija. But who's the one who said Liz Taylor is famous, so is Pepper LaBeija? Dorian Corey said it. Who said shade comes from reading? Dorian Corey said it. Who said if you shoot an arrow and it goes real high, hooray for you? Dorian Corey said it. I have a shirt. I cannot find it. It's in here, honey. I've been moving and some stuff is still packed away, blah, blah, blah. But I have a Dorian Corey shirt because I am that much of a Dorian Corey stan. I stan for Dorian Corey. I'm genuinely considering changing my name to Dorian. Like, I love Dorian Corey so much, and just the homage just made me smile. I've always connected from the first time I watched Paris is Burning, like forever ago. I connected with Dorian Corey. It was like, girl, this is it. This is my girl. This is she. And I don't know Dorian's pronouns. I can't ask her. She's been dead for quite a while. But I've always called her she. If anybody knows otherwise, please let me know. But I call Dorian Corey she. In the meantime, girl, they get back to the Booty Shake Club where Paul is just laid over dead. And they got to get his body all, wrapped up, tied up, and tangled up in Jesus. Candy knows Paul. I know him. This is Paul. He used to come to the strip club and, beat the strippers. I was like, no, he didn't. Not Paul that likes to get beat himself. So, honey, Yolanda stuffs him in their suitcase, and they get on the elevator, child, and they ride on up to Electra's apartment, her deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm like, Yolanda is strong to be carrying this grown man in this suitcase. Just carry him. Just, honey, I can barely carry my clothes. Just carrying a human man. And now, they get in there, and Yolanda's breast contour was very ugly. Yolanda, you already have breasts. Why are you contouring? You have the cleavage. You don't need to draw the cleavage on there. They hold hands. They get ready to pray. Yolanda, I guess, is not spiritual. She's like, girl, can we just wrap his body up so I can go on home? So Electra kind of sends up one for, they dead homie, Paul. And they just unfold him out the suitcase. I'm like, Rigor Mortis, Miss Rigor or Miss Mortis, either one. Neither of them are here. Rigor is not here. Paul was just as flexible, honey. He was flexible like Robert. You is flexible. Paul was moving like me. I think I'm stiffer than Paul was. Honey, the only thing about Paul that would indicate that he was dead is that they had colored him in with some blue crayons, some blue chalk. I was like, child, if y'all don't stiffen Paul up, they done laid him out, honey. Yolanda done got some lye and some leather. They laid him out in the leather and covered him with lye and sewed him in real good to the leather. leather. We don't want no holes in this leather. Sew this leather up to where he won't see through, because if he see through, we got a problem. We got a problem. I was like, that is some good leather. And y'all wasting it on Paul. Child. Anywho. In the meantime, Angel is over there getting ready for her date. She got this cute little fuchsia dress with the spaghetti straps, and Damon is kind of encouraging her, but kind of discouraging her all at once. I don't know. He's like, I'm Team Poppy, but you know, you can do so much more. You can have anything you want, is what he said. I'm like, what if she want Poppy? Beyonce can have any man she wants. She got Jay-Z. Beyonce can have any woman she wants. She got Jay-Z. Jay-Z. So she's getting ready for the date. In the meantime, honey, the phone rings. Angel, it's for you. I'm like, only person get phone calls over at the house is Angel. And it's Miss Artificial Anna Wintour. And she rushes on down to the office, and she kind of got an attitude because she didn't win the contest, and she mad about it. But Miss Artificial Anna Wintour gives her, who is this? Oh, somebody like my tweet. Miss Artificial Anna Wintour gives her the news that, hey sis, have you ever heard of Wet and Wild? They love your face. They want you to, slide on down, head on down there. So she rushes on down there. She does a photo shoot. She had on this beautiful yellow dress that ombre'd out to like blue. There was a diagonal ombre, so like the whole top portion of the dress was yellow, but it started ombre kind of at the waist down to the hip, to the bottom, like left or right corner was blue. I was like, oh, that is a beautiful dress. It's beautiful. In the meantime, child, Poppy is waiting. He's waiting with flowers for the date that Angel doesn't show up to. But she's booked, and she can't text him because texting has not yet been invented. She could have sent him a telegram, though. Or a page. But, honey, I ain't seen Poppy with a pager since, like, the second episode of season 1 when he got busted with the drug folks. So we see Angel telling Damon and Blanca about her experience at the photo shoot, and she's, after the photo shoot, they went to this fancy restaurant, and she met Ms. Rahi. Is it Isaac? I want to say Isaac, but that's my new cousin's name, so I feel like I'm saying Isaac because I just saw my cousin tweet something about her husband Isaac. Whatever, girl. my head hurts. I've been up for far too long. Poppy comes in as she's telling about her night, and he's brooding. He plops down at the table and is giving, sad tease. Blanca's like, let me fix you a plate. She goes into the kitchen to fix him a plate, and she kind of corrals for Damon to come on in here too so they can talk. They being Angel and Poppy. She says, oh, I forgot about the date. My bad. But I have a really good excuse. She tells him about the photo shoot. He's genuinely happy for her, but he's also disappointed because she missed the date. He was feeling mixed emotions. I also was feeling mixed emotions because she was like, I'm sorry. He was like, don't apologize for doing what you had to do, but one day you're going to realize that I'm the prize. And I'm like, what did you want her to do? She did what she had to do, but then you could still be the prize today. I was so confused with my emotions. And that's a testament to good writing, because I know Angel is probably confused. Poppy is also probably confused. So I'm watching the show confused, like the characters are confused. That's good writing. Blanca calls Electra and says, sis, it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since you looked at, not 1 week, but 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since you bust into my home telling me how, the man at your job was dead. What happened? And, Blanca and Electra talk about it, and Electra's soft. I wish Electra could just be soft all the time. Like, I like stern, mean, dragging, and reading Electra, but I like it when she's aiming it at someone who deserves it. Like when she aimed it at Candy and Lulu at the end of last season. That was deserved. Aim it to people who deserve it. You don't have to snap on Blanca all the time. But she was being soft, and she was giving, they were both talking about how they were having nightmares, and it was a very mother-daughter moment. And I really love when Blanca can go to Electra as her mother. I genuinely appreciate those moments. But let me tell you something. If ever I'm involved in the death of a white man, I won't go knocking on my daughter's door. I won't. let's see. They go down to the Dwayne Reed and look at the makeup section, and there she is, Angel, her face in lights. And then basically the episode goes off with a tribute to Dorian Corey. And which quote did they do? It wasn't the "hooray for you." Well, it was like the beginning monologue, because she said a lot in that moment. But it was it the no? I don't remember which quote it was, but it was a nice quote that they posted at the end of the episode. And y'all don't understand how much I genuinely love Dorian Corey. You don't understand. I love Dorian Corey with my whole heart. My whole heart. I posted on Facebook not too long ago that if ever I were to transition, I would be a fine nigga named Dorian. I don't feel the need to transition, but I can still every now and then be a fine nigga named Dorian. I just love Dorian Corey. Anyway, child, thank y'all for sitting with me for this episode. I will be back with you next week at some point in time, girl. Probably not directly after the episode. Y'all will have to be patient. Like, comment, and subscribe, and all the things the YouTubers say. Hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.